Hi, welcome to Quilty Pleasures here in Simi Valley, and this is my Redwork Garden, and we're on block 7. So we're going to be making this basket block, and we have all the cuts here for you. So I'm going to just follow the pattern real quick to show you what I did. I changed one thing. So the first cut is at 8.5 of this one, and I just made it a little bit bigger, 9, because it goes across here. And this is going to have to be a 14.5 inch. It just gives you a little bit more wiggle room. We always like wiggle room. And then we have our 3 inches. We're going to make 3 of those. Then this is our cobblestone. Again, I cut this one at 9, and we're going to cut them diagonally. And then we have our 3 inch. We're going to cut 3 of these. These are for our half square triangles. And then we go to our reds, and we have half square triangles. We're going to need 6 of these. And then we have our 3.5 that we're going to cut diagonally, and that's going to go for our basket. And then we have 4 of these. I only have 2 up because I completed the basket because we're making 2. So, and then here on the white, we have our 2.5 by 7.5. Got those 2, and then the 1 5 by 5 is here. And then our larger one here for our this is a 12 inch, and then we cut it in half. So on this is going to be our applique. Here is our cut here for our morning glory stripe, and these are at 14.5. So on this cut I made sure I cut them both the same, so the repeat is going to be the same. I just think it looks a little nicer when you put your block together that I have the patterns are the same at both ends. So that's kind of a helpful hint. So we're going to go back to putting it together. We're going to make our half square triangles. We're going to complete 3 of these and 3 of these. And it's for both blocks. So here's our half square triangles, and we cut these down to 2 inches. Okay, and then we're going to line them up like this. We're going to take our triangles here and place them here. Okay, we all know how this works. And we'll sew those to that. And the instructions in the pattern are great. It even shows you how to press. So that's really cool on that. And then we're going to sew all that together. Then we're going to take our white and we're going to sew our little red one here, and then line this up when you sew it together to this seam here. You'll be happier when that happens. Do you see how big it is? It's really large. See how that is? But we need to be able to cut that off. So be really careful when you sew these together. It will be straight here. I don't have seams here yet. So, but you'll be able to trim that off. So we're going to trim that off here and trim that off here. It shows that in the pattern. What it does not show is that you need to cut your basket bottom here. That makes a huge difference when you want to keep your points. In her pattern, she doesn't keep her points. If you want to, this block needs to be finished at 8.5. Oh, 10.5. Sorry, 10.5. So you need to trim this here, and this will be 10.5. So on your applique, it's really important that you have all this room to trim. So when I went to put my applique on, I placed it on here, so I made sure this would fit at the bottom. See, there's a, this is the tuck under. So I made sure that this would be in the seam. She recommends you sew this to your basket first, then do your applique, and unsew and tuck in your stems. I just went ahead and sewed it together because this is bias. I just made sure I pinned it really, really well to make sure I didn't stretch it as I sewed. So helpful hint on that, because she does not explain how you have to cut this block to 10.5. So even this one that I did first, my seam is not exactly here, but in her pattern, you fully lose this background and that it doesn't become a point here, but we can make it work, ladies. We know how. So then I just sewed my triangles on kitty corner, and squared it down to 14.5, which are these. And then we're going to place these between. Put my other block on. We're going to put our other stripe on. And there is our block 7. And we'll move on to block 8. So come in and see us. We are open every day, 10 to 5. And we have our online store open. And don't forget, we're at quiltypleasuresseemevalley.com.